once again. It's like that. Hello.
Hello.
It's a sliding hello wave.
We are back with the speed and surprise of an overnight acne attack.
Welcome in to the Tuesday morning edition of Exiles TV. It is now 2 weeks since Election Day, and all's well. The ground is not cracked open and swallowed us whole. An asteroid has not hit the Earth, as was predicted by one person. There was an asteroid that was in the neighborhood, but they said, well, it's going to come close to Earth. 3 million miles is not close.
Well, but they consider it close.
That's
the guys with the tape on their glasses.
Yeah, that's astronomically close. But you say, well, it's going to be within 3 million miles. And I actually told a friend who was kind of fretting it a little bit. I said, let me put this in context. The moon is 238,000 miles away. Okay, so unless it's that close, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't really worry about it. But speaking of close, all of our friends in New Orleans, and of course we're seeing in New Orleans. Boy, lots of news coming out of New Orleans.
Oh boy.
Let's start with Drew.
Let's start with Drew.
Drew Brees, he got a little dinged up on Sunday.
Pounded, friend.
Yeah, that was a big hit. And he knew something was wrong. I don't think he knew how wrong it was. Drew got 5 broken ribs.
And a collapsed lung.
And a collapsed lung.
Ow. That's a big ow.
Yeah, they're showing him in all the news photos. He is blowing into what's called a spirometer. For those of you who have ever had surgery where you were under anesthesia for more than an hour, when you were still feeling like crap, they gave you one of these and said, I blow into it and make yourself cough. And that's part of the treatment for the collapsed lung.
Well, that sounds great.
But coughing with broken ribs.
Ow.
Ow.
Anything with broken ribs, just about any motion
ow.
whatsoever with a you ever broken a rib?
Yes.
Yeah, it hurts a lot. And there's not a whole lot. They tape you up, and that's about all they can do.
I actually broke it in a sneezing fit. And I broke it right here at the sternum.
Oh, really?
And I broke it up high. And they said, the bad news is that there really isn't anything we can do for you. Mm-hmm. The good news is it's going to heal very quickly because it's right there near the attachment. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very vascular. And in 4 or 5 days, you won't notice it. Well, they were wrong on that. Mm-hmm. It was more like 2 weeks.
I broke the last rib on the left side, last one down on the left side, when a dude kicked me. We were playing Kung Fu. This was when I was a kid.
You were playing Kung Fu?
Well, you know, Kung Fu was on TV and there's stuff like that. And we were playing Kung Fu, and this dude actually connected with a pretty good roundhouse kick.
Oh!
And, yeah, it hurt really bad. And I knew something was wrong. But my parents took me to the doctor, and all they could do is tape you up. Yikes. But the word on Brees is they're saying 3 to 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. You think 3 to 4 weeks he'll be back in the lineup?
Well, I mean, he is going to get... Here's the thing. All of these professional teams, not just football, they have got the best orthopedists in the world. And they're going to hit him with the electrical stimulation stuff that makes it grow back more quickly and all that. And Dr. Joseph Feinstein, my son Joey, he's a doctor. Dr. Feinstein. He's
got to meet my son Joey.
He's a bone doctor. Anyway, he said it's going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. And he said, the thing is, these are injuries that are very painful. And he said this, I think it's something where if I were the team doctor for the Saints, you want to make sure that Drew is comfortable before you put him back in the game.
Yeah, I would think that's good advice.
You know, there's nothing like, boxers. Boxers get cracked ribs. Now, he's got some complete fractures, okay? Mm-hmm. Boxers get cracked ribs all the time. Mm-hmm. And they keep them in the fight. And, of course, if you're the opponent, you're working on that midsection with those ribs. Because it hurts about 5 times as much as it would if you just landed there, before the fracture.
Oh, a happy day. This comes at a particularly bad time because the Saints were having a fairly brilliant season.
They're on a roll.
Despite the season being impeded by COVID-19, the Saints were on a roll.
Well, Jameis Wilson looks pretty darn good, actually. Mm-hmm. And they've got quarterbacks coming out of their ears.
Yeah, they got at least 2.
Yeah. So
out of their ears.
I mean,
it's a great visual.
I think that while the team is like, oh, damn, Drew's out, I don't think it's going to slow their emotional momentum.
I'm going to open this up before we go to break, and then we'll finish it up on the other side. City of New Orleans has made their decision about Mardi Gras 2021, and the decision is no parades. None.
Oi.
Of any kind.
Oi.
Now, they're leaving the doors open for parade crews to do some kind of a standstill, virtual style.
I talked about this last week, remember?
You could file by us a single file, Indian style, and we'll throw you something.
You can't even throw it. You got to hand it.
We'll hand you something
package.
Carefully. Where's that going to go? We're going to talk about that on the other side as we take our first break.
That is going to go straight down the porcelain convenience.
I'll give you my prediction in just a moment.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exiles TV will be right back.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. I'm Bill. He's Kevin. You know who you are.
Guilty.
You should. Really, you should.
So when we last left you, we were talking about Mayor LaToya Cantrell's plans for Mardi Gras 2021, and the plan is this. Nothing. No parades at all.
Let me see if I can quote her. You've done it this time, Buster. You're on double secret probation. No more parties of any kind.
Yeah, exactly. According to the city's own website, the wording is this: parades, quote, of any kind will not be permitted. Now, I'm interested, she said, of any kind. That means no rolling parades, no truck parades, no floats. There are walking parades. I'm trying to remember the name of the parade. There is a crew, the Crew de Vue.
Yeah, the Crew de Vue, yeah.
The Crew de Vue that marches through the back part of and it's an on-street walking parade. So even though they have floats, they've got people pulling the floats. From the city's websites, parades of any kind will not be permitted this year because large gatherings are proved to be super spreader events of the COVID-19 virus.
They should have gotten one of those radio guys to do it like a super spreader.
Now, this is what I like. This is like trying to put a Band-Aid on that. The Mayor Cantrell says that Mardi Gras 2021 is not canceled. It's just different.
Oh, it's canceled.
Imagine Mardi Gras if there were, no beads, no parades, no throws.
No drunks.
You don't want anybody in the French Quarter, so you can't just go down there and hang out in the French Quarter and, tempt women into lifting their shirt or whatever. So Crew captains have until December the 5th to submit their plans for an alternate celebration that would be in keeping with
Some
her
of them,
directing.
some of them have already submitted their plans.
Yes.
It looks a lot like this finger on my hand and none others. That's what it looks like.
Yes. I would say that a lot of these crews are going to tell Mayor Cantrell that she may go and pound the sand.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about this about a week and a half ago. Her office listed, well, you can still have your floats and your lights and all that, but you have to be 6 feet apart on each float, and the floats wouldn't move. They'd be parked, and people would be able to walk by in single file and 6 feet apart, and you could hand them a packet of beads. Nothing expensive, nothing special, you know, because they were worried that would cause disagreements.
Some people might spit on each other while they're fighting over beads.
It's like, here's the deal. You have way too much of your tourism dollar tied up in Mardi Gras. Do you get this? So what you do is you let the cruise parade, and then all along the parade route, you take your folks and you stake out what comes into what ends up becoming box seats for family units and people who know each other, and let them basically stay in there. But you do not flush. What do they make? I remember, I think it was about $20 million a day during the Mardi Gras season.
In sales tax revenue alone from money spent in the city.
Yeah, that's not counting the hotel motel tax or any of that stuff.
But the other thing to appreciate is the city spends a fair amount of money in putting Mardi Gras on.
Yes.
But the crews are the guys who foot the bill for the entertainment. They pay for the permits, they pay for the parades, they pay for the floats, they pay for the throws,
Yeah.
they pay for everything. All the entertainment is paid for by the crews. The city accommodates that because they're going to make a fat ton of money. It's probably the better share of their, Q1 and Q2 budget.
I would think. Well,
And here she is over, fear that some people could get sick.
well, you know what?
Ready to kiss that goodbye.
That's okay.
She's willingly throwing her city into economic turmoil.
But here is the bottom line on this. It is ridiculous to pull the plug. You need to say, if you're the mayor, and I don't care who the mayor of New Orleans, you need to say, we are still going to have a traditional Mardi Gras celebration. However, you are going to be responsible for maintaining distance. We're going to mark the parade routes. We are going to try to make it as safe as possible, but you have to take...
And wear a mask.
That's your mic.
We got a noisy wire here.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry about that.
And you
I'll try
have
not to
to
move.
take responsibility for your own safety if you wish to come. This is the kind of thing, if you stop doing it, you're going to stop all tourism into that city. And you're going to stop all the money that your hotel motel tax, your restaurants, hell, even your gasoline sales in and out. And you know where most of the visitors to New Orleans come from, outside of Baton Rouge, but I mean out-of-state visitors. They come from Ohio, they come from New York,
Well,
they
it's a
come
great
from
thing
Illinois,
to do to get out of cold weather.
they come from
those
New
snow states.
Jersey. These are people that have had their own experiences with COVID just as big time as we have. And if you can tell them it's going to be socially distanced, you come at your own risk, you
Wear the
take
mask.
your own responsibility, you abide by the safety issue. But to sit there at that podium, which by the way, she either needs to get an Apple box or a smaller podium.
She's short.
Because she looks like... And
Peeking over that microphone.
to stand there and say, you know what, we're going to shut the whole damn thing down, it is not the proper message.
She just sent a disinvitation to the nation and the world We're not open for Mardi Gras this year.
Well, and it
Make
says,
other plans.
It says a few other things, too. It says, A, we take absolutely no proactive measures to try to preserve our biggest tourism event. It says that, okay?
And the linchpin of our cultural heritage.
Yeah. It says we don't care about the people who are employed in or who own parts of our tourism industry. They're not making Boeing airliners in New Orleans, folks.
No.
The tourism industry is the biggest, and you know what? It's cash.
Yeah.
And it's all foreign money.
But her being from, a part of the Los Angeles area originally, I don't expect her to appreciate it. I just don't know that being an outsider, she appreciates it.
But this, throw up my hands and say, oh, well, don't come to New Orleans.
Misery.
Is
Misery loves
Steve
company.
Perry, is he hung in there? Is he still the head of their tourism bureau, or did he
I think he's
pull
still
the
with
plug 4 or 5 months ago when she started saying stupid
Yeah,
things?
he freaked out last Mardi Gras. Meanwhile, before we go to break real quick, City of Baton Rouge said on November the 6th, they're discussing modified events, but they have no information and no announcement at this time as to what kind of changes they may seek to make. Of course, we have much fewer parades. We have smaller crowds when we have the parades.
Wait. Some of these parades, because the bigger...
What if Bacchus wanted to come and parade through Baton Rouge?
that is a possibility, you see. Because
Artemis
Artemis is one of them. There are several others that use floats from the cruise in New Orleans.
Money.
And yeah, I am thinking that we are wise to not make any dramatic pronouncements, because you probably won't get Bacchus, but you might get some of these other parades. You might get the truck parades that want to parade on Mardi Gras Day in Baton Rouge. It could very well happen. It could very well happen.
Mardi Gras, by the way, is Tuesday, February 16th of 2021. Now,
Oh, I'm busy
by
that
time,
day.
By
Damn,
that
never
day, usually everything in Baton Rouge is done by the previous Saturday. Time to take another commercial break. When we come back, Stephen Waguespack with the LABI will be with us with a cool announcement. Hang on, it's coming right up.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
You could be driving.
Right now, during the Team Honda Upgrade event, get a new 20 Accord Sport for just $309 a month with no money down, no first payment, and no security deposit. It's time to upgrade to your new Honda at Louisiana's #1 new car dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hey, we're back with Exiles TV. Bill Profita, I'm Kevin Gallagher, and joining us, Stephen Waguespack, who is the CEO and Executive Director, President
CEO.
LABI, the
janitor in charge.
Chief cook, bottle washer, and he makes a fine cup of coffee at the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry.
Snappy dresser too.
Oh yeah,
well, snappy dresser.
It's good to see you again.
This is an important day. I'm coming to see you guys.
I like that time,
I got a shower and everything.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we get to anything else and talk about the overall business climate, you, amongst some others, have been doing a lot of work with the Sales Tax Centralization Task Force. And I think with the election, everybody's forgotten about the problem many of us feel we have with the way sales tax is collected. So you've made recommendations to the legislature. Tell us about that, okay?
Yeah, no, it's kind of a wonky thing, but actually it's going to be pretty impactful, especially if you're a small business in Louisiana. The Speaker of the House, Clay Scheck-Snyder, had a bill last session to try to centralize the collection of sales taxes, just like pretty much every other state in the country does. Louisiana right now has a disjointed way of collecting sales taxes. If you are a small business in Louisiana and you're in multiple parishes, every parish has their own collector, every parish has their own audit function, every parish has their own way of interpreting and assessing. It's confusing, it's duplicative, it's expensive for small business. And so the Speaker tried to do an amendment to centralize it, and instead he created a task force this session to kind of bring them a better idea next year. So we've been meeting ad nauseum for the last several weeks, and yesterday we put out final recommendations to basically, and it's got local government, state collectors, and business on the same page, saying yes, we need to amend the Constitution to create a centralized collector. And I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, it sounds like a boring topic, but in the small business world, it's a game changer. Because right now, if you're Walmart, if you're a big company, you can hire lawyers and CPAs to do all that stuff for you. It's no big deal. If you're a small business in Louisiana, it is an impediment to growth. It takes away cost. You get these confusing letters in the mail from a school board from another parish saying you owe us $1,000. You don't know why. It feels like a hostage note. This is trying to harmonize that, make it on the up and up. You only get audited once and everyone has to buy in. It's really going to lower costs for small business, make us more competitive, allow us to attract more investment. It's a wonky space of the law, but it's very important, especially if you're a small to mid-sized business.
It also seems to me it actually gets the tax revenue into the proper place more quickly.
Absolutely. Absolutely, which should be the goal.
Yeah.
As you know, that's not always the goal because different collectors like different fiefdoms. They like to be able to hire and fire and do all these other things.
And I will hold this for a while to offset my deficit,
more about
and then
the
I'll
power than
disperse.
it does the efficiency and the experience with the taxpayer.
Which answers the question I was about to ask: who's pushing back? And you just told me who's pushing back.
You know, to be fair, for years and years and years, local governments had a pretty good deal on this. They've been able to control their own kingdom on this, and it was really whatever they wanted. They have come to the table this year. They have sat down the task force. They have offered constructive ideas. I'm cautiously optimistic we're going to get somewhere that's going to allow us to bring a pretty bold, transformational solution next year. So keep your fingers crossed and then keep everyone accountable because if local government stays at the table like they are right now, we're going to get something done that's pretty cool.
Now, what everybody's going to ask, let's clarify, is do I have to do anything different if I am buying something online, for example?
This doesn't impact you. The Supreme Court spoke on that a long time ago. Several years ago, they passed a case called the Wayfarer case. And they said that there has to be a centralized collector for those online purchases. And so Louisiana created a body to collect online sales taxes. So if you go on your little devices right now, you buy something, that sales tax is collected from a centralized collector that was forced to be created because of the Wayfarer case. It's your brick and mortar Main Street businesses that were left out in the cold by Louisiana a couple of years ago. So think about it. Every downtown right now has a brick and mortar business that's been shuttered because of COVID. They've been having population restrictions on it. Maybe they're 50%, maybe they're 75%. They're doing everything they can through PPP loans to stay alive, to keep their business afloat. This could be a shot in the arm for them next year, lower some of their overhead costs for tax compliance as they're trying to get Main Street back open again. So it's kind of perfect timing for us to fix this once and for all next session.
How is the weather on the fourth floor with this? They seem like they'd be okay with it if the legislature pushed it through? Or?
You know, they haven't said no yet, and they're open to see what this task force comes out with. And yesterday we gave them the beginning of what is a compromise. And the State Department of Revenue, Secretary Robinson, showed up yesterday, offered very constructive ideas on this as well. So, you know, all in all, if you're looking for storm clouds, you're seeing more sunshine than storms right now.
Good.
So I think we're on the path to getting something done. Unless that, you know, is the governor coming over saying, hold the press. But no, I think
you'd be hearing chopper blades.
Oh, okay, there you go, there you go. No, we're good, man, we're good.
That's we seem to get an ambulance go by every day when we're doing the show.
I don't take it personally. I don't think it's you causing it.
So, you know, and by the way, I said fourth floor. Governor's office is on the fourth floor. Some people might fourth floor, what the hell? But so this is a good thing. I know it's been tried before, but it's been met with a lot of resistance.
And you know, this is where I got to give this new legislature the credit. You know, do they do everything right? No. Will any legislature ever do everything right? No. But man, last year, you know, they passed some pretty significant tort reform that's been tried for decades, and it was hard to do, and we and many others at the table, but they got it done. They came in a special, and they really were a voice for many people around the state who said we got to open up and get things done. They elected their own leadership for the first time in a generation, and now they're trying to tackle not just sales tax collection improvements, but also they're kicking around some pretty cool ideas on tax reform next year that can really make us more competitive and actually lower rates for individuals and working families. I give them a lot of credit. They are not shying away from tackling tough, historically challenging issues in Louisiana.
The one thing that I don't understand, and I try to keep up with things, is that why the citizenry and their elected representatives haven't raised hell about this constantly, that we don't have a centralized system for this. Because not having a centralized system seems to be rife for accounting errors, you know, holding the money for a while rather than dispersing it to the proper parish.
You're being kind. Local corruption.
I was getting there. I was working up to it. You know, and downright messing around with the money. I don't see why the elected representatives and senators and the mayors and the citizens haven't raised hell about this.
Well, I think over time there's been moments of hell raising on this issue. But you know, when you get into a session, first of all, there's a lot of things to worry about when it comes to fixing Louisiana's laws. I mean, it's a long list of to-dos that we've been working on for a long time. So sometimes it gets caught in the wash a little bit, I think. And then also, you know, it's challenging. You know, when we go up in a business environment and we talk to the legislature, we say, look, here's several things that we need to improve on the economic climate. And we need your help on any of them you can help us with. And then local government will come and say, hey, look, just don't touch that. Or just don't touch that. Their list is much shorter than ours. And so sometimes that's how the process of elimination goes out. So we have to go every year and prioritize, okay, this is our top priority. Last year it was tort reform. We want tort reform, and we've got a bunch of groups with us. That's what we expect, and that's why it worked. And so next year, I think you're going to see a coalition forming on tax reform. And that's going to be a lot of voices working together. And this centralization of sales tax collection is going to be at the tip of the spear on what the agenda is. So we're hoping to try this new approach that'll elevate it and make it more harder to overcome the noise this year.
Well, that is good to know. And you know, it's not like you don't have enough to do. You have to sit on this commission now.
But that's what, I mean, that's what we do. You know, we wake up every day, we try to figure out how we can fix Louisiana, make it better. If we're not doing this, what else are we doing? So
let's talk about the business of business in Louisiana.
Yeah, let's do it.
In the last segment, you heard us both ranting on Mayor Cantrell.
You guys don't rant very often, do you?
We try to limit it 2-3 times a week.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Maybe 4. But you know, the business of New Orleans right now is tourism.
Yeah.
And we believe that Mayor Cantrell is going down a path she doesn't need to go to, and she's doing it with a great deal of enthusiasm. Has the business of Louisiana changed in the last 7 or 8 months dramatically? You know, agriculture, huge business. Petrochem, huge business. Tourism, other than New Orleans, huge business. We're getting into different types of manufacturing that we've never gotten into before. What's our overall climate like today?
So, you know, everyone's climate has an asterisk on it because of COVID, right? And
Exactly.
how government responds to it, but I'll tell you the asterisk version of it. So we're hovering about 8% unemployment right now. We've got new claims coming in that's higher than existing claims, and so we still got more people coming into the unemployment rolls. That's troubling. You still have a partial or somewhat shutdown out there. You've got the threat of additional shutdowns coming. I think you can definitely hear the battle drums in the distance of, hey, after Thanksgiving, are they going to come back and do some other scale back? You've heard the governor signal that a little bit. Is that schools? Is it businesses? We don't know. It's a challenge. And so when you look at different industry sectors, let's dig down a little deeper. On the oil and gas sector, it's a huge challenge because no one around the country is flying. They're not driving cars. They're not burning oil and gas. They're not doing
There's
that.
no demand.
There's no demand. And so that drives it down. So price is down. So yeah, so we are seeing scale backs. That scale back shows up on the service companies in the Bayou area. It shows up on what's going on offshore. It's showing up on refinery. We saw this with the Shell announcement last week where you saw a refinery shut down. If we don't get back to an economy that's rolling, that's using energy, that's feeding off of itself, we're going to expect more of this in the next year or so. So that's the oil and gas space. In the hospitality space, there's no doubt New Orleans especially, but Louisiana as a whole, we depend on people and companies across the country and world going online, buying a ticket, flying here, eating in our restaurants, buying our food, buying our drinks, enjoying our joie de vivre. And if we shut down that joie de vivre and say, don't come here for a year, look, there is no doubt that has tremendously long ripple effects. And it's not just for the lost investment. It's also for the workforce piece. All those people that work in those restaurants, that work in the Superdome, the arena, that work in these festivals, these are laborers that can't hold their breath for 2 years. They don't have 401ks to pull from. And so if we don't give them jobs right now, they're going to drift off and they might be a wildcatter 6 months from now, or they might be working for the circus, or they might move to New York, or they're going to leave and go to a place that will hire them for their skills. And so if we try to shut down hospitality for another year, and let's say into 2021, we say, okay, we're ready for big events and Super Bowls, and all of a sudden SMG comes to us and says, we've got no one to work concessions. We've got no one to work stages and tear down. We've got no roadies. We've got no workforce left. You can't expect those people to hang out for 2 years. We've got to give them jobs. We've got to give them a purpose to stay in South Louisiana, stay in our industry.
And I don't know if you've seen this or heard this, but I had somebody who knows the industry fairly well. A lot of our good chefs, head bartenders, people that know how to run a restaurant or a cocktail lounge, they're being recruited by the island destinations. They're sending them a ticket.
Sure.
Saying, come on down and see me. I think I got a place for you.
Best and brightest, off they go.
Oh,
and if you've been working in a back kitchen on Bourbon Street for the last 20 years, and all of a sudden you get something in the mail saying, why don't you come down to this Sandals Resort down in the Caribbean and work down here?
Yeah.
All about it.
What's your answer? You know, and
How many rats?
I mean, look, you know, I mean, that is a critical piece of our workforce. And if you lose that, you lose the ability for us to kickstart quickly. And so last year we had Mardi Gras, then everything got shut down. This year it looks like we're not going to have another Mardi Gras in New Orleans because you saw the announcement today. All of a sudden, if you're knocking on the door 2 years of a shutdown in major hospitality events, I worry about the workforce we have left in late 2021, early 2022.
There's also a mixed message going on. I mean, the Lieutenant Governor's office he's got staff and budget, and he's tasked with sending that message out, not only to the rest of the nation, but the world. Come to Louisiana. And then we have a mayor of one of our major cities saying, don't come, we're shut down. You know, I mean, aren't we wasting money with that message if we've got cities that are, you know, not willing to embrace tourism on any level?
Yeah, we are wasting money. And also, it's just straight up not fair. I mean, you and I and your spouses, you can go to a restaurant tonight. You can go downtown Baton Rouge. You can go, and yes, it's a little more spaced out, but it's a nice full restaurant. It's fine. You can go right across the street to a bar and be dead empty and closed. It's shuttered. That's not fair. That is not fair. That is not a COVID issue. That is a picking winners and losers by government issue, and it's just not fair.
Yeah, I agree with that, particularly when it comes to the pronouncements of New Orleans. I mean, just this past weekend, Karen and I went to the St. Francisville Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah.
It was a good ticket at which they could make a good profit, and they had it laid out so that everybody could stay apart. The chefs served all their food. The wine purveyors had all their tastings. Everybody stayed in hotels, and in fact, the hotels sold out very, very quickly. It seems to me that what Lieutenant Governor Nungester is having to do is he's having to work around New Orleans, which is good for Baton Rouge, good for Lafayette. He's trying to pitch that and you know, Shreveport-Bossier, but you're right, it's not fair, because when you think of tourism in Louisiana, you think about New Orleans, and their mayor is saying, stay home.
But no one's taking the lead on how to, like, survive this aggressively and successfully. No one's I mean, why didn't, we've known about this for months. Why didn't 6 months ago, why wasn't there a big meeting on the 4th floor, let's say the place you mentioned last year, and say, look, for 2021, let's have a traveling roadshow Mardi Gras. And let's put Bacchus in Baton Rouge, and let's put Rex in Shreveport, and let's put someone else in New Orleans. We'll space it out, we'll be distance. We'll have a map where people can come in, they can buy tickets, they can be 6 feet apart. We'll throw certain things. Let's just for 1 year have fun with the craziness we're all living in. Use it as a way to encourage people to come in a very safe, expeditious way. It takes hard work to do that, but instead, everyone is scared to make a decision when it comes to COVID because they're worried about the cancel culture mob will come and shun you out of society if you make the wrong statement or tweet or comment or decision. And if we continue to live out of fear of making a tough decision in COVID, if that's what happens, well, shoot, 2021 is not going to look a lot different than 2020.
I think we should prove that we can plan to work around COVID and tell the world that.
It's the new reality we live in, whether we like it or not.
We're going to take a brief pause, take care of some business. Stephen Waguespack is our guest. He's with LABI, and we'll be right back with more Exiles TV.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
By all standards, he is a champion for consumers. Because of Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta, our utility rates are 35% less than the national average, the lowest in all of America. He saved ratepayers over $8 billion. Commissioner Scrametta brought us more reliable power plants and energy-efficient solar fields. Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta. Keep the commissioner who keeps our rates low.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000. The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
guest is Stephen Waguespack, President and CEO of the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. So we're talking Louisiana business, and glad to have you with us. I wanted to ask, it's now been, I think Monday was exactly 8 months since we were told 14 days to flatten the curve.
Right.
So, you know, things being what they are, how are your members bearing up, and have you had any people that say, Stephen, we can't be paying dues because we have to shut our doors?
Oh, sure, of course we're getting that. You know, every situation that happens in life, you have winners and losers, right? Mm-hmm. So look, in industry, it's no different. I mean, when you shut down the restaurants, hey, the groceries do well. When you shut down travel, hey, you know, shopping at home and online entertainment and everything. So there's always a ripple effect of everything. So, you know, there are some businesses who benefit in this type of situation as compared to other. For the
delivery services.
Delivery services, yeah. And so look, good for them. I'm proud of them. They're doing nothing wrong by just, you know, delivering a product.
I wish I'd bought stock in plexiglass.
Absolutely. Or Zoom.
Yeah,
or Zoom.
Or 3M.
That's right. Yeah, 3M. But you know, if you take away that, you know, narrative, the truth is there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty of what 2021 is going to look like. And so people kind of understood, let's get through 2020, let's figure it out. But now they're looking like, do I prepare for an investment growth next year? Do I project more of the same? And so we are getting a lot of shrugs of the shoulders when we ask that question. So when it comes to dues, sure, we got some folks say, I love you, thank what you're doing, I want to be involved. Can you give us a little leeway? And of course, we're giving blanket like, hey, don't even worry about it. We'll catch you in 2021. Because that's what, you know, we're a service-based organization.
But
we can handle it.
You provide so many services to those companies.
Well, I'm glad to do it. I mean, it's a joy for us. But if I were a small business with 3 mortgages on top of our head, trying to, you know, make that payroll, I couldn't be so charitable. And there are a lot of businesses out there who are hearing the same thing we're hearing from their you know, their allies and their competitors and all that. And so, how long can they hold their breath? That's the question. Well, and I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know that we're seeing this yet, but I'm going to ask you your opinion.
Yeah.
What a lot of people are calling the replacement economy. For example, healthcare has of necessity had to bulk up. And they're probably going to stay bulked up. And there is a replacement economy then for hospitality and janitorial. If maybe somebody worked at a small catering facility that can't make it because there are no large events, maybe those 8 or 9 jobs are being replaced by Baton Rouge General or Rapides General Hospital. Are we seeing any planning for this at this particular point? It's not just healthcare, but there, as you put it, there are industries that have had to bulk up because of this. Is there a replacement economy plan in Louisiana?
No, I think that there's a gap there, to be honest with you. I think there's going to have to be a tremendous amount of focus on 2 kind of buckets. One, retraining, retrofitting the workforce. As certain industries squeeze or shrink and others potentially enlarge, we've got a small window to retrain those people to pivot. If we don't, we'll either lose them to another state or we'll lose them to unemployment and kind of lost opportunity. And so there's going to be a retraining window that needs to be hit, and that's a burden that goes on LCTCS, on the superintendent of K-12 education. Kate Brumley's talked a little bit about that to a certain extent. I know Monty Sullivan's done the same thing at LCTCS, but that needs to be hit hard. The other piece is you've kind of got that student gap that's forming. And you can't tell students, especially in K-12, to go home for a year, go online for half of it, come back a little bit. I think there's a lot of students who are behind in school. And can they fudge their way through a school? We've all done that for a little bit, right? You get into next year and the following year, and another courses start building on each other. I am worried about a dropout spike or a fall behind spike. And you know, we've talked to Superintendent Brumley about that as well. He's also aware of it. He's trying to get ahead of that as well, encourage K-12 schools to do that. But that's probably going to call for some summer curriculum, some summer training. It's going to call for retraining some of the teachers to deliver not just the current curriculum next year, but also the catch-up curriculum that's going to be needed for some of these kids. It's going to put a lot of burden on the school system next year, because if you go 2 years without catching them up, it's hard to get them back at some point.
What are we seeing? What are you seeing? What is LED seeing? What are the various large chambers seeing in terms of, at this time last year, we were looking at some pretty good prospective hard dollar business investment. I'm going to build this. I'm going to bring a sub-headquarters. What are we seeing now?
So, you know, I would say that I would go back to the last several years. We've seen a resurgence in petrochem, manufacturing. You saw Southwest Louisiana with LNG, a lot of those big announcements. A lot of that started a decade ago, and we were kind of riding that wave, because when you make those announcements a decade ago, it takes several years for that shovel to hit the ground, right? And so we were seeing that. Obviously, with the ITEP changes last couple of years, it put a little bit of a chill on it, but we were working around that best we could. And then COVID hits. So, we are seeing a slowdown in some of, the petrochemical, or, they're pulling back some of their turnarounds, they're pulling back some of their maintenance works. So the contractors are getting squeezed a little bit. But, if at any point, if the economy gets going again, I think if all of a sudden nationally the economy starts moving again, people start traveling again, I do think that has the potential to pop back pretty quickly. And so a lot of our service companies and contractors, they're kind of waiting for that national movement to start again.
I just have one more question. What's the level of concern with LABI when the apparent president-elect is vowing to destroy the oil and gas industry?
It's a big concern. It's a big concern, because we cannot let that happen. Now, the comfort we have is, I think the Senate is going to stay Republican. I think the Senate is going to oppose a lot of that. And so we will be fighting regulations that come out of Department of Interior, the BSEE, the Gulf of Mexico, all that stuff. So we'll be fighting that the best we can to make sure it doesn't put a burden on it. But as far as laws coming out of Congress, thank God the Senate stayed the way it is.
Yeah.
And look, we saw today that Cedric Richmond's going to join the Biden administration, and Cedric's been in Louisiana a long time. He served in the Louisiana legislature. He understands what makes Louisiana work and tick, and so I do think we're going to have an articulate voice in that room up there. That hopefully, what I'm hoping is, if you look at the long career of Joe Biden, he's kind of malleable on certain things, as we've seen. He's in the campaign, he shifted towards, he has to be a kind of a hard left socialist, keep the AOC crowd happy.
That's what's expected of him.
I'm hoping once he becomes president, he malleably gets back to where he has been traditionally, which is kind of a center-left type of guy that, if surrounded by the right people,
do you remember about 4 or 5 months after the inauguration of Bill Clinton, you had a whole lot of people that were
very disappointed.
They were like, oh my God, we elected a liberal Republican. We thought we had a liberal Democrat, but we have a liberal Republican
Let's
here.
go back to Bill Clinton quickly. When he came in his first year, he was one thing, but when welfare reform hit, he grabbed in front of it. He shifted his message to a centrist. His numbers took off at that point. Joe might see the same blueprint.
Well, Stephen, it's been far too long, and I know you've been very busy, but we're going to have to get you back on regularly.
Anytime. Appreciate you guys.
Stephen Waguespack
that seat's available for you anytime you want.
The president and CEO of the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. And by the way, small business as well as large business always welcome under the LABI tent. You can find out more by going to their website, which is labi.org. Back in a moment.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer welcomes you to our biggest clearance sale of the year, the Happy Honda Day sales event. Get year-end clearance pricing on over 900 new Hondas, plus a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Honda. Save thousands on your new Honda right here at Team Honda.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. I want to remind everybody there is a replay of this very show on this very station. And that happens at 10 o'clock.
Followed immediately at 11 o'clock by the Clarence Bugg Show, a replay of the program you're about to see in just a
Clarence
little over 4 minutes.
About 6 minutes, because we got to do the top of the hour spots and all that.
The commercials. Yeah.
He has to have, his makeup artist has to come in and, they trim his hair and they powder him up and all that. They straighten his tie.
And plus the visual effects department has to.
You got Clarence doesn't come on looking shabby like you and I.
By the way, if you want to watch these programs at any time, we haven't mentioned this in quite some time, but the Pelican Broadcasting app is a free download for your device or your smartphone. And what the app enables you to do, it's simple app to operate, and it enables you to watch whatever's on KPBN, Pelican Broadcasting, live as it occurs. Now, if you're more the on-demand type, well, then go to the Pelican Broadcasting page on YouTube, where you can see these programs, Exiles TV, Clarence Bugg Show, Rocket Right Radio, or any of the fine sports programs.
The previous programs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Archives, all that good stuff. It's all on the Pelican Broadcasting page on YouTube.
We appreciate all of your viewership. Please tell your friends. I ran into somebody this weekend who said, I heard you have a television show, but I need to know where to find it. And for a lot of people, it's like, well, where do you live and what cable system do you have, or do you use an antenna?
Exactly, because we are on, including 3 Cox systems, we're on 6 cable systems across South Louisiana, 23 parishes.
So tell them where you're watching it, and if that's not where they can get it, then they can go to AT&T Uverse, Channel 11. If they're down in Bayou Country, it's on Allen Cable, but your cable guide will pull it up for you. But everybody assumes that everybody has the same channel numbers and all that they do at home.
Well, the beauty of it is most cable systems now offer you a voice remote, where if you just push that voice activator button and say KPBN, it'll go there. So you don't need to worry about what channel much these days.
The Contour system.
Well, most people are going to systems like Contour with voice commands. I mean, it's the wave of the future. There you go. And the app. Don't forget that app. Download that app. And by the way, I wanted to just mention this. It's a little bit shameless, but we're coming into what's going to be some very high viewership daytime television viewing over the next few months leading up to Christmas. And this presents you with an opportunity to have an audience of potentially hundreds of thousands see your messages by advertising on Pelican Sports TV, as you see on the screen, or on Exiles in particular. So I don't do this very often, but if you want to reach out to Bill or I about an advertising opportunity, we would love to talk to you about it. And you can reach us at, this is easy. For me, it is Kevin at ExilesTV.com. ExilesTV.com. Bill? is Bill at exilestv.com.
And again, if you don't want to take the time to go back and forth with email, if you send me a phone number, well, the minute I see your email or at a time of your choosing, I will call you.
Fast.
So you can talk face to face. And
just say, what are you wearing?
And hi there. So
what are you doing?
You really want a commercial, or are you just glad to see me?
Kidding.
That might have just blown that. But, you know, we do have, this is still a relatively new program, and we do have a lot of people say, well, where do I find you? How do I find you? I even had you know, a couple people saying, oh, I remember seeing the unclaimed property thing for the treasurer, but then I couldn't find the station again.
Ooh, speaking of which,
yeah.
I'm trying to set that up. I think with Christmas shopping coming and people needing a few extra bucks, it may be time to do unclaimed property again. So.
Well, and now that some people don't have their hands in the unclaimed property pie
isn't
anymore.
that interesting? Because that constitutional amendment passed, and now that the unclaimed property fund is now, as of January 1st, going to be a protected fund.
Yeah, which means
statutorily dedicated.
They will send you your check right away if you've got some unclaimed property. And you know what? It's amazing. So many people do, and they just don't know about it. That is going to wrap it up for us. Again, remember the replay tonight at 10 o'clock on this very station. And then Clarence Buggs is coming your way in about 4.5 minutes from right now.
Tomorrow on the show, UFO abductions and tap dancing nuns.
Really?
No, not at all.
Take care.
God bless.